incredibly, thanks to all the support of Australians and people around the world, she raised $13,500, just under $13,500 to get herself here to Rwanda. So you can understand why Talia Appleton is riding right at the front of this race for Australia, because she probably feels like she has got the support of a lot of people behind her to try and do something in this race. That's quite special. A lot of these nations, this Rwandan Championships has been expensive for them, and they've had to be restrictive on who they brought here. For example, tomorrow, the weekend, the Great Britain team don't have an elite women's team here at all. They've had to come here and choose which teams might get medals. This is number 13, Lucia Luis-Perez, who's abandoned now. Average speed so far, 34.755 kilometers an hour. The peloton's swelling in numbers. France, to me, seem to be riding a clever race. Marion Burnell there in that yellow bike, number 15. She looks good, but Celia Géry also looks fantastic. Just comes down to how they decide to play it. Looking down again on Kigali Golf, this magnificent golf estate, which the riders are now going to roll past. Now the questions will be asked on this climb as to whether the likes of Ferguson can recover, or whether they are just going to have one of those days. We're going to reach the bottom of this at 52 kilometers to go. This group of riders still huddled together. I don't think it's the case that riders are worried about attacking. I think it's more that they are respecting this course. They're respecting the altitude. They understand just how hard it is. So Ferguson comes back to the front. She's got that kind of grimace on her face, like things are not going well. So what's probably happened here for Great Britain is they've changed the plan, and they're going with Imogen Wolf. And Ferguson will do another lap and try and at least just help out a little bit. They're all very good friends, this squad. They've grown up together, they've raced together. They've helped each other win titles. You think of Imogen Wolf and Kat Ferguson, who stood on the podium of the World Championships last year in the junior ranks. So they know each other very, very well. Millie Cousins, who's an exceptional rider, good on a course like this, good when it is hard. Over on the right hand side, the American rider, Mia Hazeltine, she's having a good day as well. She looks very, very comfortable. Switzerland we haven't mentioned too much today. We've still got two riders in there. Leah Huber and Dina Hutter are still there, and they're still riding well. Onto the climb again. Ferguson goes to the front. Sets the pace, checks over to her left-hand side, starts to drift a little bit backwards, which is a good tactic for her to just try and stay there for a little while longer. But actually, because everyone knows it's Kat Ferguson, they may not know that she's been out the back. Remember, these riders don't have race radios in. But therefore, when she slows down, they're all slowing down. She's playing a clever game. Oh, that's a puppet and a half, isn't it? On the left-hand side is Garzon of Colombia. Number 53 in there is Leah Huber of Switzerland. Yesterday, when the riders were out and about around the course, many of them were coming past with random flags tucked in their helmets and in the back of their pockets and all sorts. The two Swiss riders having a good day. They certainly look comfortable in this group. Can they produce something this afternoon? Leah Huber rides for the Nexetis team. I was looking at their bikes actually before the race starts, and they are absolutely stunning. Their bikes are very different. I hadn't seen them before. The two of them ride for the same squad. And their bikes match their trade team, the Continental team, Nexetis. The under-23 road race champion of Switzerland is Nina Hutter. They're just hiding, they're riding a clever race so far. Shadnova of Slovakia to me looks very comfortable, doesn't she? Right in the middle of that picture with Holmgren still maintaining the pace. Chiboko there on the left-hand side in the blue. Paula Blasi moves up for the team of Spain. And Marie Schreiber looks to be riding better this lap. Wilson Hafenden is also there. Now that the pace is dropping a little on this climb, it looks like riders who previously just couldn't go those little jumps, those little accelerations that were happening, now they're starting to be able to just get the legs to recover a little bit as we go over the climb yet again. So that's Kigali Golf completed. We now make our way down to Kimihurura. We get there at 47.7 kilometres to go. There's Mia Haseltine of the USA, time trial silver medalist in the national championships. And there's the makeup of the team. There's only two of them left in here. Number 52 is Sarkisov, just in the front of our picture in the Stars and Stripes. Sarkisov we've talked a little bit about today already, and there's the American team in here, just keeping an eye on their squad, following everything, just trying to will them to the finish. Wilson Hafenden goes through, grabs a bottle, or two actually, and two gels, and that's what the Soigneurs do. They add a bottle with a little band around it, the gel is added, means the riders are able to be fed nice and easily. Inside the final 50 kilometres of this under-23 World Championship, and Canada still maintain the position they've held for the majority of this race. Right to the back of the group now is Tess Moorman, having a bad moment for the first time. Let's see how this next climb goes. Last time it tested Kat Ferguson to the limit. She's now got herself back into the race. We'll see how she now responds. Oh, well, there was nearly a crash on the left-hand side there. One of the Spanish riders hitting almost Laura de Schepper's wheel. And Laura de Schepper has been riding strongly in here for Belgium so far. She's looked incredibly comfortable. She's following the wheels. Quite often in a World Championship we do say, if we haven't seen you until the last couple of laps, then you've done exactly the right thing. This is the Rwanda team, what should we call it, tent I suppose. The position to my right hand side, I can kind of see across the road. I can see riders who are dropping out of the race. So Laura de Schepper in here, rides for the team of AG Insurance Soudal, the Belgian rider. You'll pick her out with a white helmet with a kind of green across the middle, which is that green stripe that you see on the AG Insurance front of the kit in their logo. Britain start to accelerate into that turn that time. And Laura de Schepper, stage winner in the Tour de l'Avenir last year. Now this will be an interesting moment because we're on the cobbles. Ferguson has taken up position on the left-hand side as we look. You can see her there. She's starting to drift backwards a little, and I think it will depend on whether there is some sort of acceleration here as to whether Ferguson stays in this group. Felicity Wilson-Haffenden, what a job she's done today. Every single time we get to this climb, this rider gets dropped, and somehow for half the distance has got herself back into the race. You cannot fault her commitment to trying to stay there for Australia. 9% gradient now, they're riding at 14 kilometres an hour. And Ferguson still there. Flora Perkins starts to be dropped. 11 kilometres an hour. There is Laura de Schepper on the right hand side in that white and green helmet. Now in a little acceleration from Czechia. She's also a stage winner in Chambéry. And being dropped now is Flora Perkins. Here we get the first big acceleration out the front of the race. And this is a moment where everybody needs to start to think, how do they respond to this? So far it's been France who've nullified every single attack, and they do the same thing again. So Celia Jarry is the rider who goes onto the wheel. Holmgren comes across in the red and white colours as well. Schladnova is up there in the colours of Slovakia. So at the front then, it is the Czechia rider. It looks like Kopecky who starts the acceleration. Celia Jarry, behind her is Holmgren, and Ferguson has gone again. She did what she could, but I think unfortunately for Great Britain, their number one plan is not going to happen. They need to turn their attention now to the possibility of Millie Cousins or Imogen Shaw winning this race. Now the pace on this climb really has erupted. Kopecky has done some damage now. She really ups the tempo. Also up there, Schladnova, Chiabocco is also there for Italy. Julia Bergaud is there. Paula Blasi, Laura Descapa. Up at the front is Imogen Wolf, so is Millie Cousins. And this group is getting splintered and trying to race across, probably sitting way towards the back at the wrong time, is Marion Brunel. Talia Appleton is also still there for Australia, doing a brilliant job. And this race is going to come down to maybe 20 riders by the end of this lap. Such is the acceleration and the momentum now that we see. Marion Brunel for the first time is grimacing in the colours of France. She is hanging on for dear life at the back of this group, having had to make a big move. The two Swedish riders on the right hand side, suddenly they are less composed than they were. The heads are going all over the place. This is a moment in this race where Kopecky, the Czech rider, is making everybody suffer. Celia Géry, though, looks like she's in cruise mode. Over the top of the climb, 1 kilometre to go to the end of this lap. We'll have 3 laps of race. Oh, crash! Schladnova hits the wheel. Just a touch of wheels. One of the race favourites, Schladnova. Now she needs to get her feet back in those speed play pedals as quick as possible. She should be okay if she's feeling good. Chiabocco looks around, and now we get the attack. Julie Bergaud decides to try and capitalise on the problem. They don't want Schladnova to come back. She is a big, big problem if she does get back. Across the line this time, 3 laps of racing to go. Julie Bergaud goes on the attack. This is the first big move of the race. Holmgren tries to respond. Chiabocco is there. We've only got about 10 riders left in this race now. Maybe 20 riders left. Big acceleration comes from behind as Germany tried to get involved. But Bergaud is trying to put a few riders to the sword here. She looks around and Schladnova is a few seconds back. Trying to come across then. Kopecky, Chiabocco, also there Celia Géry. Chiabocco looks like she's under some pressure. Also up there is Chapler of Germany looking comfortable. Marie Schreiber has recovered significantly now on the right hand side for Luxembourg. Millie Cousins comes back to the wheel as well. Everybody realises that if you want to win this title, you must be near the front now. You leave a gap and it's game over. 3 laps of racing to go. And a problem for the Colombian. 17 riders at the front.
All 3 Germans are back in that front group.
17 riders then.
3 riders.
Chiabocco, Blasi, Géry, Appleton is still there for Australia. Kopecky of the Czech team, Holmgren, Descapa, Wolf, Hoover, Evras, Riedman, Bergaud, Schreiber, Chapler, Brunel, Cousins and Lange. That's the front group of riders. Schladnova is 5 seconds behind. Bit of ice into the neck. Talia Appleton there on the left hand side. Just a bit of information also. Loretta Hansen, another pro rider, funded Talia Appleton to get to the Tour de l'Avenir through her scholarship supported by the Squadra Cycling Club. So another pro rider at World Tour level trying her best to get these young riders the experience they need. That's great to hear. Well done to Loretta Hansen and Megan Jastrab, and there's probably others we haven't heard of yet. Kat Ferguson is distanced. She comes across the line now. 1 minute 34 down. It's game over. Marie Schreiber on the front yet again in the colours of Luxembourg. "17 riders. It might swell by 3 or 4. So the nations represented: Italy, Spain, France, Australia, Czechia, Canada, Belgium, Great Britain, Switzerland, Estonia, Germany, Luxembourg, and that's it. I think Schladnova might well just be getting back at the rear of this group. Schladnova is back, number 28. No problems with the bike either, so she looks like she's spinning well and everything is working the way it should do. And here comes another group of riders just trying to get themselves back into this race. In here also is Mackenzie Coupland of Australia. Also at the back is number 52 Sarkisov of the USA. The other Czechia rider is making her way back in as well, Nemkova. So we're getting a swelling of numbers now. Riders at the back just checking bikes, making sure everything is okay. The Swiss rider looks a little bit animated. Some Swiss riders still in here. You wonder whether this is going to come down to just a final sprint up this final climb, or whether someone is going to get away. Here's the makeup, the composition of this front group of riders. Great Britain with 2, Germany with 3, Italy with just Chirbucca. They only have 1 rider in here. Luxembourg still with Schreiber. Estonia represented as well, but there's not many left. The final hour of racing coming up. Selma Lanch is there, number 7. This is Schreiber. That's Melly Cousins. Holmgren goes through. Germany have got all of their riders in here. Adjustment of the pedals by Malwina Mull. There's a bit of a moment where everybody's kind of checking who's here, working out what the next move is. France all huddled together towards the back. Swiss rider number 53, Leah Huber, moves across the road, joined by Kagavi of Sweden. That time they were under a bit of pressure. I have to say, number 11 in here today of Spain, Paula Blasi, looks incredibly comfortable. That's for UAE Team ADQ. She's had 4 wins in her career, 22 years of age. 12th in the individual time trial the other day, finished 6th in the Tour de l'Avenir, 4th in the Tour of Romandy. She's a very strong bike rider, Paula Blasi, one of the pre-race favourites. when you look how she's riding, she looks like she's just tapping the pedals over, no stress, no pressure. It's getting down to the point where there's a number of teams with just one representative. At the back here is Mackenzie Coupland. She had a great Tour de l'Avenir, finished 9th overall. She's had that bike change. She's had another problem, but she's still fighting. This time we're going to get to the bottom of Kigali Golf at 36.9 kilometres of racing to go. Then we go on to Kimura again at 47.7. Oh, sorry, no, we've already gone through there, haven't we? We go through there at 32.6 next time. So we're getting the last run-ins now into these climbs. We've seen how everybody's ridden them so far. Schreiber doing what she did last time and just accelerating her way out of these turns and making life hard for everybody. Considering she had those bad moments early in the race, she really has recovered. Schreiber stretches this out. She's a fantastic cyclocross rider as well. Gets into that aero tuck. That's for the team of SD Works Pro Time. Being a cyclocross silver medalist in the World Championships under 23 this year in Louvain. Very strong rider, multi-discipline Marie Schreiber, ridden mountain bike as well. This year she won one of the rounds of the World Cup in cyclocross in Hulst. So a rider you would expect as this race goes on that Schreiber would get stronger and stronger, and that is becoming the case. Just shows what happens if you have been struggling for a while and then you just get through that bad patch, that you're able to now look the way Marie Schreiber is doing. She's the rider to the right-hand side of the first rider on the left, the German rider, in that red-coloured kit, the red helmet, the multi-coloured specialised bike of SD Works. She's now starting to dictate this race the way she wants it to go. Heading to Kigali Golf now, and we're about to hit the bottom of the climb again this time. Climb beckons of Kigali Golf. It's been an interesting race so far. People saying that just this attritional way that this course is ripping the dreams away from people. Potentially is how it might go all weekend. I love the way that around the circuit and all the little communes that they've printed t-shirts with the names of that area on, and then they're dancing and they've got the drums out, they're having parties, all sorts of things going on around this circuit. It's got such a very different feel, and of course that's what we always knew. me know who you think might win. @AntMcCrossan is where you can get hold of me on social media if you would like to. Thank you for all the messages during today's race. Thanks for those little nuggets of information that we didn't know. It all helps to kind of add to everybody's experience. On the right hand side of the road, moving up yet again, it's Kopecky who really set the pace for the team of Czechia. And Sweden moving up again. Lauren de Skeper of Belgium, she's still maintaining her position. It is interesting when you look at these riders how multidisciplined they are and how they've come through riding cyclocross and road and everything else. On to Kigali Golf again, 14% at the bottom. Giabocco of Italy on the left hand side, the Germans still maintaining their position. Isabella Holmgren still at the front. Doesn't have any teammates, I don't think, left in this group of riders, so now she's riding a little bit more of a conservative race. Was reminded by Chris that she won the mountain bike, cross country and short course a couple of weeks ago in Switzerland as well. She's been a very, very busy rider. A quick question, I was asked whether there's any New Zealanders here in the race. Unfortunately this time, no, there's not. New Zealand have got a very small group of riders here, but they've already won a medal, haven't they? But not in this race this time. So I know so many of you supporting different nationalities. So this group is being thinned down again, and it looks like Mackenzie Copeland this time, the legs are giving out. She's done an immense job for Australia today. Bike change, puncture, got herself back all the time. Now she's just hauling her way to the top of this rise. Is she stuck in a gear she doesn't want to be in? I don't know. I think it's just the legs, unfortunately. But she's desperately trying to stay there just to help a little bit longer. It's such a selection now in this race. Next time round we'll only have 2 laps to go. Copeland, the team car comes up, talks to the sports director in the car. They've decided that maybe it's not. She's having another conversation, a long conversation here. I wonder whether it is a mechanical issue. A long discussion, the mechanic having a chat, so maybe it is a problem and it's not the legs. She's looking down, having a conversation with them, deciding what to do. Quite animated at this point in the race, as you would expect. We're nearly at the end of a World Championship. So over the top of the climb, and she's going to come back, so it must be a mechanical issue, and it might be that the Australian team car have decided, okay, let's try and sort this out and give her a chance to be there at the finish, because she's just rolling her way back on. The team car need, if they're going to do something, they need to get a bike ready or wheels ready or whatever it might be. And earlier on we saw the bike change she had was quite a long time, and they did it from too far back down the convoy. I'm just listening to hear if Radio Tour is going to ask for Australia to come up. because earlier on it sounded like the traffic wasn't being brought up quick enough for these riders. Into the feed area, bottles being dropped. Dodgy dropping them there and letting them roll back in by a couple of riders. You can see them bounce off the curb, but actually not bouncing back too much, which is great news. Number 47 down there in the middle is Tabea Weiss of Austria. Schladnova right in the middle still. Back of the front, such a good climber, such a multi-talented bike rider. And the Romanian rider is into the pits, and it's game over for Wendy Buno. Mackenzie Copeland out the saddle again. So we've got a real mix of riders in this front group. Victoria Schladnova on the front of the group now. She rides for the team of Wiesma Lisa bike. She's got a contract till the end of 2027. She finished second in the individual time trial the other day. And Australia, I'm hearing, and Copeland has stopped on the right hand side. She just went out of camera shot. Can they get her back in to the race with 34.5 kilometres to go? Will the legs allow it? She's heading towards the bottom of these cobbles. Maybe they've chosen that this is the fastest section, and if she can get a quick wheel change or bike change, she can get up and running, get in the convoy and work her way back on by the cobbled section. She's got just under 2k to do that. There's Mackenzie Copeland. She's back up and running yet again. Fantastic performance by this rider today. You cannot fault this commitment at all. Can she get herself back into this peloton before the bottom of this cobbled climb? Well, the youngest rider in the race is still right at the front as we look at this helicopter shot of Mackenzie Copeland of Australia. Schladnova over there on the right hand side, only 18 years of age, 314 days today. She's been there or thereabouts all day in this race. Flat out downhill, nearly 80k an hour. Germany on the front. Into this turn again. Germany come out in front. Now we start to climb a little bit. That little section doesn't take long at all, and now we're on the cobbles. Now let's see whether we get any more accelerations. Isabella Holmgren moves up for Canada on the right hand side. And the back of the group, number 29 is the other Slovakian rider. This is Zungarova. Can she stay there to help Schladnova win this race? Still two Polish riders in here who have not been at the front at all. Marina Mull and Veronika Versati, they're still there. Paula Blasi of Spain on the left hand side. Laura de Scaper from that helicopter shot, near side in that turquoise kit with the yellow, red and black across the back. Is Is there going to be another bit of a push this time? Is anyone going to be willing to attack on the cobbles? Because next time when we get to the line, we have 2 laps of racing to go. It looks like it's hurting the legs of Ungarova. Holmgren starts to push a little bit. Schladnova to her right-hand side as we look, with the blue top and red top to the sleeves, with a red-coloured front of the bike. Julie Begot, left-hand side of Holmgren, Isabella Holmgren. And more riders are going to go out the back this time. The Swedish rider is distanced. Last time Söderqvist did look like she was on her last legs, and that is proving to be the case. France still with all 3 of their riders, and Begot has been the workhorse in today's race. Behind her, Celia Géry, and number 15 is Marion Brunel in the yellow helmet. Number 38, the Australian, Talia Appleton, is still sitting in the wheels and having a wonderful day. The Estonian on the right-hand side, Elizabeth Bras. 2 Polish riders suddenly go. Having mentioned them, they have gone. They cannot stay with the pace. That's such a shame. They've been there all day. They've been hiding. It looked like things were going their way, but they're not. Germany starting to push a little bit as well. There's a bit of a fight going on for the front position between Germany, France and Canada. It's Selma Lange of Germany who is fighting with Julie Begot for the front position. Millie Cousins, number 1 there. Right hand side, number 8 is Linda Riedman. Giabocco has to surf alone for Italy, wearing number 9, but she knows how to do that. She's very experienced in that Picnic Post NL squad. She's got some good teammates in that pro team. 31.4 kilometres of racing now remain. Let's see how many riders are left at the end of this lap, with 2 laps to go. Schladnova still in the front position. Chapla over there on the right hand side for Germany. Switzerland starting to move up again with their riders. There's the Estonian rider, Elizabeth Bras, with that pink helmet on, easy to pick out. 1 kilometre to go to the end of this lap. So the Estonian starts to kick a little bit. Elizabeth Bras, 1 win in her career. She's the Estonian national road race champion this year. Used to ride for the UAE development team, and she now rides for the B Pink and Matra Bongiani team. Elizabeth Bras really has stretched this pace out a little bit now as they make their way towards the top of the final climb of this race. Big attack now, and it is Spain with Paula Blasi just trying to test out who's still got the legs. Blasi looks like she is very comfortable today. She's never looked under any pressure whatsoever in the colours of Spain, and that's that change kit with the dark blue, the colours of Spain on the back. Hardly any riders left now.
We are coming up after 2 hours, 33 minutes and 33 seconds of racing.
The average speed is not a fast one today. It's all about how you deal with the terrain. It's a brutal, brutal race. 34.8 kilometers an hour is the average speed. This reminds me, in some ways, although they're not mountain climbs, of the World Championships in Colombia many years ago, which was absolutely brutal. When we see the riders appear over the top of this climb, with 150 metres to go, in 2 laps time they'll be sprinting for the world title. 6 laps completed, 2 laps of racing remain to decide the under-23 world champion for women. They go past my commentary position and it's all about refueling and just staying there. The total number of riders in that front group, 22. There's about 3 riders just behind: Malwina Mull, Marie Schreiber, Veronica Versati, who might get back. They're only 15 seconds off the lead. That would make it a front group of 26, but now we get another attack. Another attack from Julie Begaud. Now remember when she won the world title as a junior, she attacked a long way out and went clear and no one followed. Begaud attacks. Big acceleration now, 3 riders go clear. There's the attack. Begaud goes to the left hand side, big move. Counter attack from Chapler of Germany. And also going on the attack is Nina Hutter. 3 riders combining. One more rider trying to come across. Looks to me like the Spanish rider Paula Blasi, but Julie Begaud has now taken the pressure off Celia Géry and Marion Brunel. She has put the pressure on the other big teams. This is a fantastic move by France. Paula Blasi's decided that this might be a possibility of a race-winning move, so she tries to get across. Can Blasi get there? This is the first acceleration that's actually caused a breakaway. It's going to be 4 riders at the front. Chapler, who rides for the Canyon SRAM Zonda Crypto team, the German rider, she looks comfortable this afternoon. So here's the makeup of the front group of riders as Blasi makes the junction. It's the Estonian who's trying to close the gap. So is Shadnova, but 4 riders now racing away. Chapler, Begaud, Nina Hutter and Blasi. Now it is a counter move from the peloton as 3 riders jump away off the front. Suddenly this race is in full flight. Great Britain team move across the road. They are looking for reinforcements. Belgium try to get involved in this action as well. Everyone realises that you don't really want to give riders 20-30 seconds. Talia Appleton of Australia is up there. She's just tracking what's going on. 5 seconds is the gap. Big move right hand side. Counter attack from Austria as Tabea Huis goes. Good move by her. She realises that maybe this is worth going because there are different nations represented. Well, Nina Hutter is the least well-known rider in this front group. She's 8th in the Swiss Road Race Championships. She's been riding some big races like Romandie and Tour de Suisse. And it looks like this peloton may well be bringing this back slowly but surely. We've lost a few more riders. A bit of gambling going on right now. Holmgren brings it all back together. The junction is made, and Holmgren has made sure that everything is back how it should be as far as she's concerned. Bego swings across the road in the red, white and blue of France. That acceleration has caused everybody now to think about what their tactics are going to be. It gives them an answer as to who's got the legs. Well, this American rider, Sarkisov, has been there all day today, just following along, spinning the gears. Now she got dropped once, didn't she? But now she's back there again, just taking on a little bit more fuel. Maybe things have calmed down a little bit. And for some riders, where this tempo now has just calmed down, there are moments where they start to feel a lot better. Thank you to all of you for joining me for this Under-23 World Championship for women. It isn't a storied day for them. Who's going to win? Tactically, it's been a very different race to other races for them, of course, as we get a big move. A rider who was dropped. Malwina Moore decides to kick and goes clear. Big acceleration by the Polish rider. She's done what she needed to do because she was dropped a little while ago. So maybe she feels, get in a group of riders, see if you can get up the road. Then people can come to you. Rides for the team of Cofidis from next season. She just came out of the Tour de l'Avenir. She finished 9th in the Tour of Poland, Malwina Moore. That's a big move by her as she goes clear. She was second overall in the Tour de Feminin in Czechia. Currently rides for the team of Matt Atom in Poland. Talia Appleton working here at the front with Ebras. This rider has gone clear, and that's a big acceleration by her and a big move. She gets into a time trial mode. Rides really with the toes down, doesn't she, when you look at the style of her on the bike. Some riders like to ride like that, others like to ride much more with a flat foot. 21 years of age, Malwina Moore. Here's the moment, look, she came back, and then rather than just sitting, big move having chased, gets up the road. That's the way to do it when you've been dropped from a world championship, isn't it? Best form of defence is attack. And now everybody's wondering about a rider they couldn't care less about 5 minutes ago. And they're thinking, right, what do we do about her? Because she's now 10 seconds ahead. And suddenly everybody's really sitting, looking at each other and wondering who's going to do the chasing. Her teammates also back, number 42, Mazzati. This is Mackenzie Copeland. Is she now on a Shimano bike? She's going to have some stories to tell when she gets back to the team hotel tonight, I think, Mackenzie Copeland. This rider is on a mission. Gets into the aero tuck. She's growing this advantage. This is the biggest lead of any rider we've seen so far in this race. 21 seconds. And looks around and the peloton isn't there anymore. And And a few minutes ago, she couldn't see the peloton in front of her. What a great move. Fantastic to see. If it pays off, then fair play. If it doesn't, there's nothing else you can say. She tried. She's almost at the bottom of Kigali Golf. It does start to drag up before the kind of classification of the climb. Reach the base of the climb in 900 meters. Everybody is now huddled together. Nova on the front, the colours of the neutral athletes. Looks to me like Samsonova's still there. Now she looks very, very comfortable, doesn't she? Nice aero style, spins the pedals over nicely. She's got that little safety chip in the little thing at the back of the bike that's now being used to spot whether riders have finished the race or not. 40 seconds now. She's growing this lead. Now we know the legs have been hurting on the climbs. Is 40 seconds enough of an advantage on the cobbles, for example, for this rider to stay away or not? There's our little graphic showing you where we are. We're heading towards Kigali Golf now. The peloton turning that corner. She does have moments where she's out of sight, which is good to start to build an even bigger lead. Riders will worry about trying to bring her back, because at this point in the race, sometimes riders liken it to lighting a box of matches, and you can only light so many before the box is empty. And right now, your box is under half full, because to be here at the tail end of a World Championship, you have got to have had moves, accelerations. Got to put yourself in the wind now and then when you didn't want to. She's onto the climb, 650 meters to the top, then she'll get over the other side. It'll be a descent down. She'll have a little time in which she can just get into the descent. She'll have about 3.5 kilometers to the base of the cobbled climb. As we see another move, this is the youngest rider in the race, the Slovakian Shadnova, who's decided she needs to start to rip this one up a little bit. Celia Géry, the French rider, trying to go across. Imogen Wolf is on her wheel in the colours of Great Britain. She's not able to go with this one immediately. Paula Blasi goes. Suddenly there are two strong riders trying to go to the front of this race and form the breakaway to try and win the medal. Géry to me today has been looking superb, and yet again she shows that. Suddenly there are groups of riders all over the climb, and it is Malwina Mull who's been the rider who's done the damage. She's caused the accelerations as riders want to come across to her. She looks super calm and cool at the front. The race situation, if you've just joined us, it's Mull of Poland being chased down now by Shadnova and Géry. So it's Poland, Slovakia, France. She's climbed this climb superbly. She's about 100 meters or 200 meters from the top. Millie Cousins is dropped right hand side. Julie Begaud is dropped. And these two riders even now struggling to get on the wheel of the Polish rider. They check over their shoulder, and she's still riding away. As the gap is significant. Three riders are going to combine at the front. There's the peloton. Wolf tried to go, didn't have the legs. Blasi tried to go, didn't have the legs. 9 chasers now. And 3 riders now combine at the front. Malwina Mull has pulled a masterclass for Poland. The question is whether she's got the legs to stay with these two. Only 20.9 kilometers to go. Here's our leaders in the white, red and blue at the front. It's Shadnova. In the predominantly blue coloured kit is Jerry of France. Oh, that looked painful. So Leah Jury rides for the team of FDJ Suez, a teammate of Juliette Labousse, of Demi Vollering and others. 3 times a stage winner in the Tour de l'Avenir this season. She won into Saint-Galmier, into Luzhny and into Val Thorens. And I think the Polish rider is going to sit on for a while, back through the feed, because we know that she was dropped on the cobbles before, and we know that she's been on an intensive little breakaway. 11 riders in the chase. Appleton is towards the back. Shireen really wants to now accelerate this and try and build the lead. It's only 10 seconds. Moule in the red and white on the back. Is this the moment that this race is won or lost? Because everybody's looking at Holmgren in Canada's colours and thinking, well, you've been the strongest rider in here so far. You need to do something about this. Moule is hanging on. Blazy's decided to go on the attack again.
Spanish rider.
We're almost at the bottom of the cobble climb now. This is where this race is going to be decided. Moule is just fueling, trying to get some energy into that body as quickly as possible. Celia Jerry is pushing this on. 12 seconds now. The bottom of the climb is 17.5 kilometers from the finish. Shadnova asks if Moule can do some work. Moule looks around, takes another gel, gets as much fuel in that body as she possibly can. She knows she's been suffering. The other two don't necessarily know she has. This is the chase group. Marion Bernal at the back. Right hand side is Imogen Wolf. Left hand side, number 82, is Ivanchenko. Number 6 in there is Chapler. Number 8 is Riedman. Is this the breakaway that will win this title? There's only 12 riders in the chasing group now. Shadnova looks and says to Jerry, please come through. Wool tries her best. Canada's riders, a bit of disappointment in here. They did an amazing amount of work. They did a brilliant job. There's only one team. Is there one team in here with 2 riders? I don't think even now. Yep, there is. So Germany is the team who need to chase because they have numbers. So they need to sacrifice a rider in order to bring this back. 13 seconds now. Bear in mind there are no race radios. Everybody's got to make their own decisions. Here's our group of riders onto the cobbles now for the penultimate time. Now Malwina Moule, I wonder whether she's just going to try and ride at the front. It looks that way as to whether she's just going to try and match and stay there and do everything she can to get to the top. Here's the gap. It's still not significant. They've still got them in their sights, and Blasi, the Spanish rider, is the rider who's trying to drag everyone back. Then I expect to see, if it does come back, Marion Bernal go on the attack for France, but I'm not so sure she's got the legs today. And now Mul is dropped. These two riders press on, and the Polish rider has done everything she can to be at the front of this World Championship, and she's to be commended for the ride she's done today. She gave herself a chance. You can't ask for more than that. A kilometre to go to the top of these cobbles. And it looks to me like one rider is being dropped at the back now. Nova moves to the left-hand side of the road, the right-hand side as we look. Celia Géry is super strong. Checks over her shoulder. She wants to keep this pushing. She wants to keep the advantage for riders to come across, but it looks like it's all going to come back together, and it's Paula Blasi, the Spaniard, who's doing the damage. Dropped now is Justina Chapler. Also number 8, her teammate Linda Riedman, looks like she's about to be dropped. Germany's chances of winning this title are coming to an end as well. We've had some race. The front of the race now, Chladnova, Géry, Blasi, Chiabocco. Holmgren is there now for Canada. Marion Brunel comes across. We've only got 6 riders at the front coming across. Here's Appleton. She's there as well. She's still got the legs. And Germany trying to save this. The challenge of Great Britain is now going backwards as well. So Estonia and so Czechia. And Mul is going all the way through the groups. We have got the strongest riders now at the front. Nine riders have emerged at the front of this Under-23 World Championship. Blasi, Chiabocco, Holmgren in the red and white, Géry, Marion Brunel, Chladnova, Appleton of Australia, and one other rider is in there, which I think might be Samsonova in the colours of the neutral athlete squad. Holmgren there in the red and white. This is an elite group of riders at the front of this race. When they get to the top, they turn left. They go to 1 kilometre to go, and they'll go through and get the bell for the final time in this Under-23 World Championship road race for women. Appleton of Australia now starts to push the pace. This is a great performance by this Australian today. The green and gold of Australia now at the front of this world title race. Getting dropped, I think it's Samsonova. Look at Paula Blasi. The faces of these riders show what a tough bike race this has been. There might not be many attacks, but this has been a day of total attrition and warfare. Here's the next group of riders: Chapler, Kopecky, Imogen Wolf, Ebras, and Mul, who has done such a good job of just trying to stay there. She might end up top 10 in the world. Over the top of the climb now, and we get the red kite with 1,000 metres to go to the bell. It looks like it's Samsonova, who, in fact, it's Ivanchenko who's come back. So it's Ivanchenko in the colours of the neutral athletes. So Ivanchenko is there. Riedman of Germany recovers as well. Blasi checks across. Chladnova and another big group of riders trying to recover, led by Ebras, Imogen Wolf, Mul, Kopecky, And one other rider in there from Germany, I think is Chapler. So 5 riders coming across now. 9 riders chased by 5. We're going to have 14 riders at the head of this World Championship. We're going to get the bell and 14 riders are going to take it. Mool is there as well. She's made it into the group again in the red and white.
We're about to win the fast across.
Holmgren still looks good. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been Some Bike Race. We're going to have 1 lap of racing to go. And the best 14 riders in this race are now at the front. These are the riders who've made the moves. MC Brian of Rwanda, the voice of the Tour of Rwanda, urges these riders on as they come across the line and they get the bell. Just over 20 minutes we'll know. Chiabocco attacks. So it's Holmgren, Chiabocco, Shladnova, Blasi, Appleton, Jerry, Bunel, Chapler, Mool, Kopecky, Ebras and Wolf. That's the front. 12 riders in there. Chiabocco attacks hard. Holmgren just spinning away, gets a bottle. The Canadian looks so good and has done for this entire 119.3 kilometre race. I'll make it 14 riders in that front group. And another group of riders who are trying to come across contain Samsonova, Descapa, Lange, Huber, Weiss, Schreiber, Hutter, Cousins and Kagavi. They are 40 seconds behind. So the 14 riders: Imogen Wolf, Justina Chapler, Linda Riedman, Chiabocco, Blasi, Bunel, Jerry, Holmgren, Shladnova, Ebras, Julia Kopecky, Appleton, Mool and Ivanchenko. A lot of discussion going on here. Germany still with 2 riders in the front group. Isabella Holmgren has been one of the key favourites of this race for Canada. She's in there. Can she bring this home? We started out with 81 riders from 40 nations. We end up with 14 riders at the front. Ivanchenko looking for some food. It looks like everybody's calmed down a little bit here. They might let this next group come back if they don't continue to push on. They're not that far behind. Suddenly everyone realises that there is a world title up for grabs in not too long. 14.5 kilometres to go. We reach the bottom of the golf climb at 6.7 kilometres from the finish. And then the cobbles at 2.4. Number 6, Justina Chapler. Reedman wears number 8. Talia Appleton just prepared to sit in the wheels. Now there'll be some riders who are thinking they need to get away, and there'll be some riders who are thinking, I can win at the top of this climb, I can go on the cobbles, or I can even leave it very late. But look at this, suddenly there is a massive group of riders who believe now they're going to come back into this race. So we're going to get a swelling of numbers. 11 riders about to come across. Germany have another rider in here. 25 riders at the front. And Mackenzie Coupland today has had just about 9 lives. She's back in the race. Suddenly 25 riders are aiming to win this title. The front group, the momentum's gone. 12 kilometers to go. Now we get a little bit of a move, an acceleration at the front. Switzerland now have both their riders in here, and a big move on the right hand side, and it comes from Stina Kagavi. Big move by Stina Kagavi. Now she's been dropped a few times, so she's decided that it's time now to do what Mull did and try and grow a lead before the climbs. That's her only chance. Good move by the Swedish rider. She looks around and she's riding away. And who's going to chase? It comes down to Germany. Germany need to do something about this. Everybody has gone across the road, and this rider from Stockholm in Sweden is riding away. They can't let her go. This rider's a rider who's won a stage in the Tour of Portugal, a stage in the Tour of Poland. She's a very useful bike rider, 20 years of age, and everybody is just looking at each other. Also, Great Britain need to sacrifice someone. So does Switzerland in order to bring this back together. Going to the front now is Samsonova to ride for Ivanchenko. And already this gap is 26 seconds. Laura Escaper at the back, number 24. Thanks very much for joining me. The race situation, if you're just tuning in now for the end of this Under-23 World Championship. Stina Kagavi of Sweden is the lone leader of this race. Behind her, 24 riders came together, and now they're all just looking at each other, and they're letting this Swedish rider ride away. They cannot let this happen, otherwise it's game over. Marie Schreiber is at the front, alongside the Austrian rider who's rejoined the front of the race. Tabea Weiss. Schreiber was dropped a while ago, came back in the group. She's been always trying to force the tempo, but unless they start to ride, then this rider is going to ride to victory. This is a wonderful performance by this rider, taking an opportunity as she heads now to Kigali Golf. 36 seconds on the final lap. Only 9.3 kilometers of racing remain. Are this group on the right gambling too much? She takes a bottle, she looks comfortable. It's amazing when riders have been distanced how suddenly when you're on the attack the legs can suddenly come round and you feel good. Austria are there. The Swedish rider is flying. She looks good. 51 seconds now. Marie Schreiber smiling away on the front of this group with the Austrian rider alongside her. Tabea Rees, is this gold medal just going away from everybody? Stina Kagavi is still maintaining this advantage. Stina Kagavi is still there now. Schreiber's decided she needs to ride. It's really not down to her. Schreiber goes on the attack now, starts to open up a little bit of a move. 8.2 kilometers of racing to go. Has this Swedish rider outgunned all of the riders who were mentioned as the possible winners of today's race? Does she have the legs to go all the way to the finish line? It was a perfectly executed attack when she came back. Now Switzerland decide they need to start to stamp on the pedals, and right on the front of the race it's Leah Huber who tries to get some urgency into this group. It's 44 seconds for the Swedish rider. Stina Kagavi is still on the attack. 40 seconds now. Here she is. This is the lone leader of this under-23 World Championship. This is the biggest moment in her career. She takes a big deep breath, almost a micro rest at the top of the climb as she cruises at 58 kilometers an hour. She's now onto the climb. Are we going to see some big attacks? Has she got the legs to really ramp it up on this climb? Are the legs punishing her, or has she held something back? Stina Kagavi of Sweden looks good. Can she get to the top of this climb? She'll go over the top and she'll descend her way down to the cobbles. She'll have about 3.5 kilometers of fast racing till she reaches the cobbled section. 48 seconds now. 700 meters to the top for Stina Kagavi. Into the climb now. Who's going to be first? It looks like Marie Schreiber from the helicopter shot. It is Marie Schreiber first onto the climb from the what we'll call the peloton, and now we get a big attack. Schladnova starts to move. This rider wants the gold. She makes a massive attack. Celia Jury tries to go across. Paula Blasi, it's always been those three riders who are the strongest, and Holmgren is left wanting on this climb. The Canadian rider, has she done too much work today? She's been on the front for the majority of this race, right from the start. We wondered whether at 110 kilometers to go it was right for Holmgren to always have her nose in the wind. Maybe it's now showing that it wasn't. The regulators asked the motorbikes to come out because this race is advancing at a massive rate. Jerry looks across. Schladnova is there. Blasi is there. Holmgren is grinding her way to the top of this climb and desperately trying to get back in the wheels. 400 meters to go for the Swede. Here she is. Those legs are screaming in agony. She just needs to get herself to the top. She's got a chance of a medal here, if not the whole title. But this race is advancing at a momentous rate. Holmgren makes the junction. Schladnova asks everybody to come through, and they're not prepared to do it. 4 riders in the chase. Blasi, Holmgren, Schladnova and Jerry, and they still haven't caught Kargevy at the front. It might not have been the most attacking bike race you've ever watched in your life, but it sure has been one of those races you have to watch because you just don't know what's going to happen. Kargevy looks cool, calm and collected. She checks over her shoulder. She's still there. She's in a group of 5 any moment now, and she's heading towards the finish of the World Championships. She looks like she's out for a cafe ride. She just sat up, looks around, checks over her shoulder, has a little bit of time to recover. That is a rider who certainly is still focused. Five riders, and now they need to ride. They cannot sit up the way they did before. There's the chase. There's 5 riders in the chase, 1 slightly off the back. Are France happy with this situation? Kargevy is prepared to work. She wants to keep this momentum. She knows 1 out of 5 is a brilliant opportunity. But the group is trying to come across. Contains Talia Appleton of Australia. She's in that second group on the road, I think. Also in that group is Ivanchenko. So 6 chasers, 5 leaders, 5 kilometers to go. Bottom of the climb is 2.4 from the end. Blasi in the blue on the left, Holmgren on the front. Going through now, Schladnova of Slovakia. And the Swede is the unknown rider in that front group. The chasing group of riders behind. Let's see who's there. Looks to me like Riedman in that yellow helmet, Laura Descaper of Belgium, Chiabocco of Italy, Ivanchenko, Marion Bunel and Talia Appleton of Australia. They're going to get back. Now this next climb suits different riders. Once we get onto the cobbles, 4.5 kilometers to go. This is going to be a nail-biting finish for anyone who's supporting any of these riders. Ivanchenko in the turquoise coloured kit, Bunel on the back. France have ridden, I think, for Bunel today. Chiabocco, Riedman in that yellow helmet on the left-hand side, wearing number 8. Can they get back? It looks like they're going to, just before we hit the bottom of the cobbles. This front group just doesn't have the momentum. They're making Stina Kargevy do all the work. Blasi goes through, does a little turn. Laura Descaper, she's had one of those days as well. Look at Talia Appleton getting rid of her bottle. Throws that now. All the water has gone. Marion Bunel on the back. Holmgren on the front, the Canadian. Her team rode a brilliant race. And the junction is about to be made. Well, thank you to all of you for watching. It has been a long race. The average speed of this race is 35 kilometers an hour. They've been racing for 3 hours and 17 minutes. If you're questioning why aren't they riding, I think literally everyone is nailed now. They really are. They are on their last legs and they're trying to conserve any little juice of energy they've got to try and win this title. Talia Appleton on the right hand side, number 38 from Australia, 2.4 kilometers to go. We're about to hit the cobbles for the final time in this World Championship. It's all about who has the legs onto the climb. Ciabocco is the rider from Italy who starts to ramp it up. Blasi is just behind in the colours of Spain. Géry in that black helmet. Holmgren now looks stronger again. Moving up on the right hand side is Marion Bunel in that yellow helmet in the colours of France. Ivanchenko is tucked in, number 82. Sheena Kargavy is still there. Talia Appleton and Riedman is being distanced. It's all about who can gamble, who can wait, who is prepared to just risk something. Who's got the legs to win this world title? Laura De Scaper moves up on the right hand side. France have still got two riders. Sheena Kargavy is in the company she didn't expect and she's still there. Blasi now starts to up the tempo. We're in number 11. And for the first time, Talia Appleton is starting to struggle on these cobbles. She starts to lose the wheel. So it's Blasi, Ciabocco, Géry, Holmgren, Schladnova, Laura De Scaper, Marion Bunel, and then one rider just on the back is Ivanchenko. Ciabocco has been the sole Italian competitor today. And she's surfed the wheels and she's done everything she needed to do. 8 riders now in the front group. Talia Appleton's going to make it 9 though. And Marion Bunel, just before Appleton gets there, starts the attack. The climber from France, Marion Bunel, starts a big acceleration. Célia Géry goes on the wheel of Schladnova to give France 2 riders in the front, 3 places. This is the moment. Look at the face of Marion Bunel as she rips her way up the cobbles. Marion Bunel drags away 2 riders. This is a moment for France. Bunel has not attacked all day today. She hasn't made the move. She's sat in the wheels and she makes the acceleration that causes the split. 3 riders now. They can fully commit because this is the medals. There's the gap. Ciabocco wants to close it. Holmgren is gambling a little bit for Canada, hoping they can close it. 1.5 kilometers now remain. And Bunel has just done a full power effort all the way up this climb since she attacked and she's still stamping. The 20-year-old French rider from Bernay, Marion Bunel, rides for the team of Vies Melissa bike, still ramping up the tempo. Last year's winner of the Tour de l'Avenir has dealt a crushing blow on these cobbles. Look at the face on her. Schladnova is trying to stay there. Célia Géry. Schladnova checks over her shoulder to see what the situation is, and still Marion Bunel is the rider who is causing havoc on this climb. Holmgren is desperately trying to come across. They're only 7 seconds off the win. Paula Blasi is there. Look at Ciabocco. She's on her absolute limit. Marion Bunel attacks left-hand side of the road. Big acceleration inside the last kilometre. Schladnova goes with her. Célia Géry gets ready. France have got 1 and 3 in this group of 3 right now. They check over their shoulders. They're all a little bit fraught and worried about what's going to happen from behind. 6 seconds now is the advantage for Marion Brunel, Victoria Schladnova, and on the back is Celia Géry. 2 French riders, 1 Slovakian, and now it's about the power all the way to the top of this climb. It's a horrible finish. They're sprinting for all they are worth behind. They still believe that it's possible, but Marion Brunel is emptying the tank to try and give France the gold medal. Laura Descaper trying to close the gap for Belgium. 300 metres to go. What a sprint between these riders. Victoria Schladnova attacks and Marion Brunel now is dropped. It's too much for her. So it's Schladnova, Celia Géry. Who's going to win this world title? It has been the most brutal bike race. Over 119 kilometres of racing. Now Celia Géry goes. A huge acceleration from the French rider. It's going to be world champion Celia Géry. France celebrates. Second place to Schladnova, and it's going to be a sprint for third place between Chiapocco and Blasi. Blasi takes the bronze for Spain. They catch Brunel on the line. An amazing day for France. Marion Brunel ripped the race apart. She's absolutely exhausted. What a finish. What an absolutely incredible bike race that was. Marion Brunel is literally finished here at the finish line. Celia Géry is the world champion. Victoria Schladnova is second. Paula Blasi takes the bronze just ahead of Chiapocco. Brunel ends up fifth. Isabella Holmgren of Canada sixth. Then it's Ivanchenko, Descaper, Talia Appleton, Linda Riedman. The rest of the riders will come into the line now, sprinting for the minor places. This group led by Imogen Wolf. Well, we said maybe an hour ago that Celia Géry was just cruising. Look at her looking across at Schladnova. The youngest rider in the race finishes in second place. Celia Géry is the world champion. She rode superbly today. She looked fantastic through the entire race.
Iyo ni shampiyona y'isi y'amagare irimo kwiranga mu mujyi wacu wa Kigali. Dubuse korera hamwe n'umujyi wa Kigali babatumiye muri Jens Comedy Show. Jens Comedy Show iribuze kuba nimugoroba muri Camp Kigali. Nimuze gucika rero mwirebera abanyarwenya benshi batandukanye. Jens Comedy Show nimugoroba rero muri Camp Kigali hamwe na Paris.
What a ride by Marion Brunel to take that group away and give her teammates the chance to win the gold. That was exceptional. She's absolutely finished. Two medals for this young rider from Slovakia. Here's the result of the women's under-23 road race. Celia Jory of France wins in 3 hours and 24 minutes. Behind her, the youngest rider in the race, Victoria Schladnova of Slovakia. Paula Blasi, she rode a great race for Spain. She takes the bronze. Then it was Chiaboko, Bunel and Holmgren in the top 6. There'll be riders out on the road for quite a while now. Two teammates in trade teams, Brunel and Schladnova. There are riders peppered all over this tarmac right now, just trying to recover. Well, we get ready for the interview and the podium presentation. Well, let's hear now from the winner of today's race.
Célia, félicitations pour la première fois. Il y a un titre dédié de championne du monde des moins de 23 ans. Et c'est vous rentrez dans l'histoire, c'est une belle journée.
Ouais, c'est vraiment incroyable. Ce matin, c'était très long pour attendre jusqu'à 13h, mais là, ouais, c'est génial.
Ça a été aussi un chef-d'œuvre collectif aujourd'hui.
Ouais, complètement. On était que trois par rapport à d'autres collectifs qui étaient peut-être un petit peu plus nombreuses, mais il y en avait d'autres qui étaient aussi moins nombreuses. Mais on a su gérer notre course parfaitement. Et on était 3 fortes filles dans l'équipe, donc ouais, c'est vraiment un travail d'équipe avec Julie dans un premier temps, puis voilà, après avec Marion qui m'a dit qu'elle se sentait un petit peu moins bien dans les pavés, donc on a tout misé sur moi au final et ouais, elle a fait une fin extraordinaire dans la montée pavée là et le dernier kilomètre. C'est vraiment un travail d'équipe, ouais.
Encore fallait-il réussir à faire la différence face à Schladnova dans le final. Vous avez trouvé les ressources.
Ouais, bah en fait, je suis partie 2 fois en échappée aussi avec Schladnova pendant la course. Voilà, dans la montée du golf là, puis elle a attaqué 2 fois du coup. Donc j'étais avec elle, puis je voyais que sur les efforts longs, elle me faisait vraiment souffrir. Donc j'essayais de me canaliser parce que sinon j'allais pas pouvoir tenir jusqu'à la fin. Et je savais que derrière il y avait encore quelques filles qui pouvaient être un petit peu dangereuses pour le sprint s'il arrivait au sprint. Donc voilà, j'ai essayé de gérer ma course et pour le final, ouais, Marion a bien géré et bah, je me retournais un peu pour voir où c'était derrière. Puis je sentais que de toute façon c'était à Schladnova d'y aller. Donc voilà, moi j'avais qu'à attendre et après au niveau de la pointe de vitesse j'avais assez confiance face à elle quand même par rapport aux efforts longs comme j'ai dit tout à l'heure où j'étais peut-être un petit peu en dessous.
Vous le sentiez venir ce titre après votre Tour de l'Avenir par exemple, est-ce que vous le sentiez venir?
Bah, le sentir venir non, mais parce que en arrivant ici c'est vrai que les conditions sont vraiment différentes qu'en France. Honnêtement, je sais même pas dire si j'avais de bonnes sensations pendant la course par rapport à d'habitude, mais dans tous les cas, c'était toutes les filles qui étaient dans le même état que moi, du coup, vu que je gagne à l'arrivée, quoi. Mais ouais, du coup, c'était difficile, fallait pas lâcher mentalement, en fait, c'était vraiment le mental. Parce que la course a été dure, mais pas non plus ultra dure. On a pu voir, j'aurais pensé à une course vraiment plus difficile qui aurait été écrémée bien avant les 2 derniers tours. Donc ouais, non, j'avais pas trop confiance en venant ici, mais je savais qu'on avait une équipe en tout cas forte pour pouvoir aller chercher le titre quand même.
Maintenant, on va pouvoir profiter du podium et de l'équipe de France. Bravo.
Celia Géry, well, in summary, she said that was incredible. It was a very long race, 3 hours. The collective performance of the team was perfect. The work of Julie Begaud, the work of Marion Brunel was extraordinary. What a great job by Marion Brunel towards the end of the race. In the final, Marion worked hard. I was able to sit at the back, had the confidence I would have the speed to take the victory. She also said it was a very hard race, a very difficult last 2 laps, but she had good sensations during the race and she was able to win. What a ride by Celia Géry, beating Šladnova of Slovakia into second place. And Marion Brunel almost got a 1-3, but it was Blasi who took third place. I think that performance by Blasi to get the bronze was well deserved because she rode fantastically today. She looked comfortable all day and she made the moves when she needed to. There's the margin of the bronze. We're just getting ready for the podium presentation. Well, the crowd are almost ready for the greeting of the winners. As a reminder of the top 10 riders today. In a few moments that stage will be occupied and we'll present the winners of today's race. Big crowd again all along the route. So look out over the convention centre and hotels and everything in this particular area. This area's got a little expo, it's got the merchandising area and everything else. We're almost ready for this presentation now. Thank you for all your messages. Thanks for the little bits of information that some of you imparted during today's race as well. It was fantastic to bring this race to life alongside you today. And our riders are ready. ready for their victory ceremony as the music begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the awards ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championships in Kigali. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde route UCI 2025 à Kigali.
Ikaze kuri mwese muteraniye hano, ikaze kuri mwese mudukurikiye, tubaha ikaze mu birori byo gutanga ibihembo ku bakinnyi bitwaye neza muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare 2025 UCI Road World Championships iri gukinirwa ahangaha i Kigali.
Here's our medalists.
Award ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championships Women Under 23 Road Race. Cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde de route UCI 2025 course en ligne femmes moins de 23 ans.
Muri mwanya rero hagiye gutangwa ibihembo ku batsinze muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare mu 2025 mu cyiciro cya Women Under 23 cyangwa se abagore bari munsi y'imyaka 23 Road Race.
The medals and jersey will be presented by Mrs. Daniela Isetti, UCI Management Committee member. Les médailles et le maillot seront remis par Madame Daniela Isetti, membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
Imidari n'imyambaro igenerwa batsinze igiye gutangwa na Madame Daniela Isetti, umwe mu bagize komite nyobozi ya UCI.
In third place and winner of the bronze medal representing Spain. À la troisième place et vainqueur de la médaille de bronze représentant l'Espagne.
Umwanya wa gatatu n'umudari w'umuringa byegukanywe n'umukinnyi ukinira Espagne,
Paolo Blasi.
Paolo Blasi, the 22-year-old rider from Spain, storms through to take the bronze medal at the top of the final climb. A great race by this rider today, rides for UAE Team ADQ.
In
A very proud moment, I think, for the Spanish rider.
Representing Slovakia. À la deuxième place et vainqueur de la médaille d'argent représentant la Slovaquie.
ku mwanya wa kabiri n'umudari wa feza byegukanywe n'umukino ukinira Slovakia,
Victoria Heladinova.
2 medals in these World Championships for this young rider. The youngest rider in the race, again on the podium.
In first place, UCI World Champion and winner of the gold medal representing France. À la première place, champion du monde UCI et gagnant de la médaille d'or représentant la France.
shampiyona y'isi yo gusiganwa ku magare n'umudari wa zahabu byegukanywe n'umukinnyi ukinira Ubufaransa,
Célia Géry.
Célia Géry is the world champion, 19 years of age. Perfect result, perfect race. She was 5th last year in the junior road race. This time she's the world champion at under 23. The new world champion, Célia Géry.
gifts will be presented by Candy Basomingera, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Sports. Les cadeaux seront remis par Candy Basomingera, secrétaire permanent du ministère des Sports.
impano zigiye gutangwa na kandi basomenyera umunyamabanga uhoraho muri minisiteri ya siporo y'u Rwanda.
The Tissot Watch will be presented by Mrs. Daniela Isetti, UCI Management Committee member. La montre Tissot sera présentée par Madame Daniela Isetti, membre du comité directeur de l'UCI.
Impano y'isaha ikorwa n'uruganda Tissot igiye gutangwa na Madame Daniela Isetti, umwe mu bagize komite nyobozi ya UCI.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of our new UCI World Champion, we present the national anthem of France. Mesdames et messieurs, en l'honneur de notre nouvelle championne du monde UCI, nous vous présentons l'hymne national de la France.
Mudufashe nanone gushimira uwegukanye shampiyona y'isi y'amagare mu gukomeza kumuha icyubahiro twese duhaguruke mu gihe haririmbwa indirimbo yubahiriza igihugu cye cy'Ubufaransa.
Ladies and gentlemen, please one more time, your applause for our medalists. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez applaudir une dernière fois nos médaillés.
Murakoze cyane, twongera dushimira abegukanye imidari muri irushanwa mu byiciro bitandukanye aribo
Celia Giry, gold and
France
world champion
celebrates the gold medalist Celia Giry. There's our medalist in the under-23 women's road race.
Et Paul Blasi holds bronze.
3 hours and 24 minutes of racing for under-23 riders, and a 19-year-old rider wins it. She was in the moves that mattered every single time today. She didn't put a foot wrong, did she? I think with about 4 laps to go, we said she was flying. She just looked so easy and in control. And some days you get that. Well, today's her day. She's got the rainbow bands. For her to go and sign some jerseys, do some interviews. Tomorrow is a massive day. If you're settling down with us, we've got quite a few hours to bring you. We're going to start very first thing in the morning with the men's junior road race, and then we bring you the men's under 23 road race. Off she goes to sign some jerseys, to do all her press interviews and everything that goes with this win. Our rider's still finishing here at the line.
Thank you so much Kigali, merci beaucoup, murakoze cyane. Mbibutsa ko rero turabasaba kuguma ahangaha kubera ko mu kanya gato cyane tugiye kwakira kaka DJ
Julie Bego with her, who helped us so much today as well. Time to sign the jerseys, then we'll hear from her and we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of today's race. For all of you who've joined us, thank you so much for joining us for this under-23 women's road race, a little piece of history today. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the men's junior road race and the men's under-23 road race. If you're joining us then, we look forward to it, and then we go into a big weekend of racing to finish. Thank you very much to all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow. From me, Ant McCrossan, bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow
Célia, vous l'avez ce maillot sur vos épaules, vous avez eu le temps de réaliser, ça représente quoi pour vous, championne du monde?
Bah c'est juste génial, c'est la concrétisation d'une belle saison et d'une magnifique équipe de France aujourd'hui. Donc c'était vraiment génial ce podium avec l'équipe de France au pied, ouais, vraiment incroyable.
Racontez-nous un peu cette journée et la tactique de course assez étonnante, c'était une sélection par l'arrière finalement.
Oui, c'était une sélection par l'arrière, mais un peu moins que ce qu'on aurait pu penser pendant le briefing. C'est vrai que ça a mis assez longtemps quand même à s'écrémer. On était encore une bonne quinzaine ou une grosse dizaine à la fin, avant le dernier tour. Donc ouais, c'était une course qui s'est écrémée par l'arrière, mais assez difficilement quand même.
Vous réalisez quand que vous êtes champion du monde? Après la ligne, au moment de la ligne?
Là je crois que je réalise pas encore, mais ouais, là dans les 100 derniers mètres, je me suis dit c'est bon, ça va le faire.
Bravo, félicitations. Victoria.